Hello everybody, my name is Nathan, and I am the man with a cartoon obsession. I've reviewed a couple of Japanese animated movies on this channel, and some American and Canadian ones as well. There are plenty of other animated films from plenty of other countries, and we're going to dive into one of them today. Before we get into that though, I would greatly appreciate it if you could take just a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more animation related content. My goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I'm hoping we can make that happen. Without any further ado, let's get into my review of the animated movie, Even Mice Belong in Heaven. Even Mice Belong in Heaven is a stop-motion puppet and CGI film that comes to us from the Czech Republic. It was based on a novel of the same Czech name. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce it, so just check it out on screen. It originally premiered on October 7th, 2021 in its native country. The movie was directed by Jan Bubenicek and Denisa Grimova. I'm sorry if I butchered those pronunciations. The movie is from the Czech Republic and was produced by Czech Studios, but it was also co-produced by studios from France, Poland, and Slovakia. There is an English dub for this film, and it was done by 3Beep. Before I go any further, I'll try to stay away from spoilers, but I'll throw in a spoiler alert just in case. The movie follows a mouse named Wizzy and a fox named Whitebelly. They meet when Wizzy rips a chunk of fur off of Whitebelly while he's sleeping. He wakes up soon after and chases Wizzy. The two end up dying at the same time and wander through heaven together, learning about themselves and each other. I always like the concept of enemies, or at least characters who just don't get along, learning more about each other and growing closer, so the movie already gets a thumbs up from me for that alone. On to the characters themselves, I like the two leads. Wizzy is a mouse who gets frightened easily, but she always lies to everyone and says nothing scares her. That's because she wants to be just like her late father, whom she looked up to for his bravery. He saved her from a fox when she was younger, and that moment stuck with Wizzy for the rest of her life. She's a flawed character, not just because she's dishonest about her feelings, but she's also mean to her only friend while she's alive, and to Whitebelly for a while as well. She does learn about herself while she's in heaven, and she regrets how she acted, so she's still likable overall in my opinion. Whitebelly is a timid fox who speaks with a stutter. He doesn't like killing, which makes him a misfit among his kind. He's nice, and even though he gets walked all over, he knows when enough is enough. He learns how to stand up for himself and improves as a character throughout the film as well. He's my personal favorite, so even though there are mice in this movie, I'm not going to fall for that cliche. I'm going to dub Whitebelly the Cheese.
I am the cheese! I am the best character on the show!
I've said this before, but I've always been a huge fan of stop-motion animation. This movie does mix puppets with CGI, and it can be noticeable at times, but that's not a bad thing. I enjoy seeing all of the different backgrounds and characters. I did find some character designs a little off-putting upon first glance, but when I saw them all in motion, I really started to like them. I like all of the smaller details that go into the designs too. For example, Wizzy and Whitebelly are chained together at one point, but the indents on their fur stay there for a while even after they're removed from their shackles. You guys should know by now that I always look out for little things like that, and I'm a fan of those decisions. The music in this film is solid, and the English dub is very good. I really enjoyed Simona Berman's performance as Wizzy and Graham Halstead's performance as Whitebelly. I also love the fact that Wayne Grayson voices a few characters in this movie. If you're a Yu-Gi-Oh fan, you'll know him as the voice actor for characters such as Shoddy and of course Joey Wheeler. His voice is very recognizable to me, so even if I didn't know he was in the movie prior to watching it, I would have been able to point him out instantly. The film explains most things well, but I was left with a few questions. For one thing, it's confirmed that humans exist in this world, but there aren't any in heaven. It doesn't really matter, but I'm curious if they have a separate heaven for the animals. That's just speculation though. Also, when animals misbehave in heaven and get 3 strikes, they're captured. However, it's unclear what happens to them. I'm assuming they get sent down to hell, but it was never explicitly stated. And now we go from questions I had to issues I had with the movie. At one point, Wizzy's feelings towards Whitebelly seem to change all of a sudden. Not necessarily for no reason, but it feels a little abrupt. While it initially felt rushed, Wizzy and Whitebelly's relationship grows and develops well. It's not perfect, but it's still sweet. That pacing problem I just mentioned doesn't end there. In fact, there were a few scenes that I think could have carried a little more weight, but they felt slightly rushed. I don't know what happened, but it seemed like a couple of character models got mixed up in the climax. Not only that, but part of the resolution was just glossed over. It lessened the impact just a little in my opinion. Finally, the ending of the movie is awfully predictable. It's still nice, but it doesn't take a genius to figure out what's going to happen. As a whole, the movie plays it safe, but I still think it's pretty solid. It builds a nice relationship between the two main characters and gives the viewer enough conflict to keep them interested. It also does a decent enough job at world building inside of Heaven. And it scores a couple extra points with me personally since it's a stop motion movie, but that's a personal preference. If you're a fan of that style though, I recommend you watch this film. Overall, I give Even Mice Belong in Heaven a 7 out of 10. I don't think this movie will ever become a favorite of mine, but I can see myself revisiting it once in a while.
Please? He looks evil, doesn't he?
Nah.
Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you have any other cartoons, anime, or other animated works that you want me to talk about in the future, please let me know. After all, it's not my channel, it's our channel. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and feel free to check out my social media pages, audition for an outro, and join the official Cartoon Obsession Discord, the links for all of which are in the description below. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.
I'm Kermit the Frog, and thank you for watching Cartoon Obsession.